Panther family, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Iowa State Podcast. I'm your host, Mac, and I'm beyond excited to have the guy on that I do tonight because not only is a preseason All-Sun Belt player and undoubtedly going to play a huge role for the Panthers football team this year, he's also a returning guest of mine. So I'm super excited to have my guy, Bryquice Brown, back on the show, and we'll get into it, man. So first off, how you been, Bryquice?
I've been good, man. Thankful. God's blessed me to be in this position. I'm very thankful.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And I can imagine it's been a fun summer for you. We'll get into that in a couple questions, and I think people know what I may be getting at for that one. But first, man, I'll kind of let you do a little bit of a pitch for the football team here. So, what would you want an incoming or a potential incoming recruit to know about Georgia State football, and like what to expect, and just the whole culture of the entire program?
The culture of the program is great. It's growing. We're growing tradition around here. I feel like you come here, we're gonna take over the city. I feel like we're taking over already. Georgia Tech's kind of out the way now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like we have like the type of swag and the type of culture that the city enjoys and what they like around here. We're kind of new, and I feel like we're coming to take everything that we own. This is our city.
Hell yeah, man. That's why we have the hashtag our city. You know what I mean? So I love it. I love it. And hey man, 2024, I believe, is when we finally play Tech in football. So
And
I don't know if you'll still be here, but hey man, we'll get that dub. We'll get that dub.
most definitely, we're going to show them who runs the city for sure.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, so I love it, man. That's a great pitch. Any of you recruits hearing that, man, he's not lying. The culture of Georgia State football is forever growing, and we're making our impact in this city. So definitely come join the fun. That's all I can say. But yeah, so my next question, man, I had to ask. I know you were probably expecting it coming at some point. So your brother Bruce, for those that do not know, you have an older brother named Bruce Brown in the NBA. Just won a championship with the Denver Nuggets, which I just got to first off say congratulations to him and your family. I know that's a huge accomplishment. But needless to say, I can imagine it's been a very exciting time for the Brown family. So if you don't mind, just kind of, explain what it felt like and some of the cool moments in it and just everything about the whole experience.
First of all, I was just going to say appreciate it. And the experience was just unreal, It started off, I honestly couldn't believe like it was the finals. Like it didn't really hit me until like the last few seconds when he put the shot back up to win the game. So it was just something that it hit me. I started running down the stands, just trying to enjoy the moment with him, running on the court. I jumped over the bench before security even let me on the court. He was down there having a good time. He was in shock as well. So just to see him check something off his list that he's been on his list for so long that many people don't get to live that type of experience. So just seeing that and having him go through something like that, it shows me that everything that I want to do in my life is possible. So having him as a role model and someone in my life to just push me along when times get hard and just as an example, as someone who goes through the hardships of being an athlete. So just having him around is huge for me. And that experience was just unreal, something that not many people get to live through. And I'm just glad I was a part of it.
Oh yeah, man. No, I follow you on Insta and your stories. What every single night at the game, because I mean, I don't mind the Heat by any means, but we all knew Denver was going to win it. It was just a matter of what amount of games was it going to be, a sweep, a gentleman's sweep. But no, man, it was that was too cool, and I can only imagine it. Just had to be this hopefully not a once in a lifetime experience, but still, just for the phrase of it, for lack of a better term, there definitely once in a lifetime. So, and I gotta ask, man, I'm sure it does, but does it motivate you that much more to get a ring of your own, get that Sun Belt championship ring on there?
Yes, most definitely. Like as soon as I got back, I told the guys, I'm like, I seen what it was like to see what a successful team like what they do to win the games. Like, coming together when times get really hard. That's when teams mold together and show why they're the toughest guys and why they're unbeatable. So, just kind of seeing that as an example, it was huge for me because when I got back, I had a vision on what it takes to win a championship. So I feel like, what I'm saying, this year is going to be the year for us.
Oh yeah, man. I love it. I love it, man. I'm getting so excited. Each day, each word you were saying, I was just getting that much more pumped. But hell yeah, man. That's awesome. I'm again so glad you and your family got to experience that, man. I can say now that that I've known you and followed you guys. Definitely a very deserving family. So I'm super happy for you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. But yeah, so we'll move on to a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the sport of football instead of basketball. You're coming off of a strong season, and with some guys leaving as well, you're kind of now finding yourself in one of, if not the largest, leadership roles on the defensive side of the football. So how have you kind of approached this? I mean, again, for lack of a better term, how have you kind of approached this challenge? And, what does it really mean to you to, be a leader not only on the field, but off the field as well?
It's huge. I feel like I work my behind off. So I'm a great example for everyone to watch me. If I'm not doing it vocally, I'm gonna show you. Like I'm gonna be out here putting extra work, I'm putting extra time. So recently we started this thing called the Breakfast Club, the guys first guys in the stadium, getting our bodies warm, doing everything we can do to just keep our bodies intact for the season. We know it's a long season, we know we got a long road ahead of us, and just try to start something new, be the change around here. We haven't had a season where we went undefeated, and I feel like this is the year we can do it as long as we all just buy in and just come together. And I feel like that's just what it's going to take, and we're capable of doing that. We know we have the talent to do it, and I feel like this is going to be the year.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. No, I mean, I think last season obviously didn't go the way any of us really wanted it to, but the talent was always there, and I knew you guys had it. And to be completely honest, we did lose some guys. I mean, Jamil was on the episode with us last year. Now he's at USC. You know what I mean? But I'm kind of bringing that up to just prove we did have legitimate talent and still do, right? So it's something that I was confident last year, and I remain confident this is going to be a damn good football team. So I'm excited.
Definitely.
I'm excited. Cool, man. We'll keep moving on. As I said in your little intro, you were named preseason All Sun Belt by multiple publications, actually, not just one. You'll be attending media days in New Orleans next week. One of the two people that are attending that. Honestly, I've actually seen you start climbing some draft boards as well, because I get deep in the weeds on those. So do you feel like you now have a little bit more personal pressure on you that maybe you didn't have before? And if so, what are you kind of doing to make sure that you turn that pressure into diamonds?
For me, honestly, I don't really look at things as pressure. I really think it's pressure if you allow it to be pressure. At the end of the day, it's just a kid's game. I'm just going out there having fun and enjoying like something I've done my whole career. So at the end of the day, I don't try to pay attention to that. That's just something that comes along with it. And of course, it's an accomplishment, and I'll take it and I'll enjoy it, But at the end of the day, the main goal is to win games. Win games is big for me, and do anything I can do to possibly help the team win. So I put that first. But I'm thankful to be on those boards, of course, and to receive those awards. I'm never going to turn anything down. But
right.
Was definitely just keep winning the main goal and trying to be the best player and best leader and best team I could possibly be for the team this year.
Oh yeah. Some people may say it's a little cliche to say things like that, but I mean it's true. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, the personal accolades, they're great and all, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to win championships. So I hear you, man. I hear you. And I think it's no secret from talking to you guys through my interviews, again, following you and just some of the things I've seen. I think everybody on the team for the most part does have that mentality. So I think it's once it gets tapped into, man, that snowball is going to get rolling. Oh yeah. But yeah, man. So you're going into year 4, and you finally have a new defensive coordinator. I shouldn't say finally, but I'm saying each year you had the same one, same scheme, same everything. You got the new defensive coordinator this year and Coach Staggs. And I'm really just curious on what you think or what you have noticed to be the biggest differences in some of the schemes and what your responsibilities are. Obviously, don't tell us too much. I don't want watch other teams watching this and being able to prepare that much more for you. But what are some things that you're kind of noticing that may be a little bit different in your role for this defense?
Just being more aggressive this year. Just kind of let me play free. I love the new defense that we're in. It's slight changes to our defense with just terminology for position standpoints, but for the most part, just playing aggressive and just allowing us to be ball players across the field. And just he came in with the swag that we play with. So him coming in with that type of energy, he's a great guy for us, and he's a great person to fit the system. So definitely Coach Staggs, look forward to him being he's a great play caller, underrated play caller. So having him around is going to be huge for us. And I feel like he's going to be a big contribution and a big reason why we turn this thing around and win a lot of ball games.
Okay. I love it, man. So when you say swag, is that like, is he high energy or is he just like a smooth guy?
He's a smooth guy, but like when it's time to go, he's bringing that energy. He's
Okay.
gonna tell you it's time to go. So, but when you go in his office, he's a cool, laid back guy. You know, he vibes with us pretty well. But when it's time to step on that field, on the green, it's time to go. And he tells you, and he brings the energy when it's time to go. And I love it. I love it. It makes you lock in and be like, okay, we're really here for something. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, your defensive coordinator always needs to be a little crazy up there. You know what I mean?
For
So,
sure, he has that switch for sure.
hell yeah, I love it, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, I mean, the system, it sounds great. Sounds like you're going to be playing a little bit more free. I am curious. So, is there anything that you feel like you have already kind of learned from him as a coach, and kind of vice versa? I mean, I know he was coming from Conway, South Carolina previously. I haven't ever actually physically been to Conway, but I can guess that it's a little different than the city of Atlanta, Georgia. So, maybe there were some things that you guys had to teach him as well. Is there been any kind of interaction like that so far?
Most definitely. He's taught me a lot since he's been here already. Just the game of football, just sitting down talking with him, the game of football. He knows so much. He's been around so long. So it's little things like me coming off the edge, like just like pass rushing stuff that I just never tried to add into my game. He makes us do a circuit every single day that teaches you everything just because you're going to need to have everything in your tool bag. So just learning little things like that from him has been huge. And he's pretty much came in already with the swag. It was like you're taking in someone that you already know, but you don't really know them. So he fit in right as soon as he got here, and everyone respected him just because everybody knew where he came from, just because we played for Coastal so many years, and it was just like we trust you. We trust you already. You already know what you're capable of doing for us, and we've seen you do it elsewhere in Conway. So let's flip this thing around and let's do what we can do to win this championship.
Oh yeah, man. I love it. I love it. He was part of some very successful teams in Conway. So when we hired him, man, I have to admit I was pretty damn excited. I feel like you guys probably had pretty similar feelings when it came to Coach Staggs. That's good, man. That's good. With Coach Elliott, he's such a high energy guy. I feel like anybody on his staff almost has to have that, in them. You know what I mean? So that's good, man. That's good. So yeah, so we'll kind of switch gears here a little bit. This next question I've asked a few times with some of my guests, and I always love the answer. So I got to hear what may be your answer in this situation. So kind of paint the picture for you here. The whole team is on the bus, coaches included, and you got the aux cord. It's about a 3-hour ride. You're picking the music, whether it's a podcast, audiobook, whatever you want to do, but you're picking what people are going to be listening to for the next 3 hours. So what is Bryquice going to be picking? What's on his playlist?
So question: Is it like something that I would listen to, or is it something that the whole team would vibe with?
Okay, I guess I should have clarified on that. I think it's a mix, right? It's got to be something
Okay.
that you like, but you're confident that the team would like it too.
Okay. So you want specifically like people?
Artists,
All
I mean,
right.
we can go as
So
broad as genre. We can go specific as songs. So
so we
whatever
can
you want.
go. I know a lot of the guys would love some Morgan Wallen on there. Sure, sure, Morgan. To switch it up, a little NBA young boy. And,
Okay.
and
Okay.
lastly, everyone likes the new Gunner right now, so definitely Gunner. So I feel like that would be a good road trip. It would be a mix of everything, a little country, a little rap, hip hop. So add
Right.
that in
I kind of like it in that order too. Start with Morgan Wallen, get everybody kind of nice and loose in
there.
the NBA, everybody hype, and then gonna kind of get everybody back in that zone. You know what I mean? So I like
Definitely,
it. I like it.
definitely. I feel like that's perfect.
Exactly. Exactly. I gotta ask though, man. I was a little shocked with Morgan Wallen. Are you a Morgan Wallen fan yourself, or is that just more of a safe pick for the team?
If you didn't know, my brother's big like on country, so
I saw all the cowboy hats, man.
yeah, so being around him, he's big on Luke Combs, Morgan Wallen. He loves guys like that. So it kind of grew on me, the country vibe. I love it. It's kind of for me, it's kind of soothing. For him, it turns him up. So me,
Okay.
I'm soothing. Kiss me like that's something I listen to if I'm watching film. It gets me locked in. It's nothing too hype to make me start dancing. Just keep me level headed, focused. So that's a good vibe that I love. Especially last night. Last night is a great song by Morgan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, Morgan Wallen, he's got a catalog, man. He's got some good songs. I'll give him that. I actually saw Luke Combs back in Tampa a couple weeks ago too, man, and woo, it was a hell of a show. So, yeah, your brother's got good taste, man. He's got good taste. That's awesome though, man. That's awesome. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get you out of here on this one. I know your schedule is super hectic right now. Training camp is just right around the corner. The season is just right around the corner. So I know everything's hectic with you right now. So we'll get you out of here on this one. this team is loaded. I truly think it's loaded with talent. I think it's the same situation as last year. You guys are still returning a ton of leadership and production. You're losing some production and leadership for sure, but you're still returning a lot. Really, what should the Panther family expect from you guys this season? And what should be the ultimate goal for this team?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people that left, of course, but we got a lot of people to fill those new spots. Like, for example, we got Gavin Pringle that just came from Bucknell. A lot of people didn't get to see him play. He was in the FCS, and he's really going to be big for us this season. Henry Bryan, you got Kevin Swint coming from Clemson. Those guys are going to fill some big shoes, and they're capable of doing that. A lot of people haven't seen them play, but we've seen in practice what they're capable of doing. So that's going to be huge for us. And our linebacker room is deep as ever. So there's a lot of people in that room, and moving our John Trey, moving him inside the box is going to be huge for us as well, just because he's a playmaker, ball player. So, but as a team and as a defensive standpoint, winning ball games and a lot more turnovers than last year, and just holding a lot more people under the yards that we gave up last year. I seen that last year we averaged 228 yards per game passing. We're going to drop that by a large margin, but definitely no more than 150.
No fly zone, baby.
Yes, no fly zone. Rushing no more than 100. We're setting a standard, and we're going to stand to that. That's something that we talked about in defensive meetings, and I feel like that's huge. And I feel like all guys are on board about that. And then winning games. Winning games is what we play the game for. Coming together as a team. We've had a hard off season, but it was a mental challenge. And everything about this off season has been something that we can get through. So it's shown us that no matter how hard it is, we have to come together and find a way to get through it, because finding a way is the only option. Because it's never about the problem; it's about the solution. So that's something that we definitely took a huge step on, and finishing games this year would be the number one thing for us, and coming out victorious for sure.
I love it, man. I love it. Finishing games is a great point. There's a lot of games for the Panthers last year that, fourth quarter, a couple plays sway in our favor instead. Man, we're looking at, a 7-5 record, maybe 8-4 instead of 4-8. So couldn't agree with you more on that. So last question I got for you, man. I guess I'll preface it, besides winning a Sun Belt championship, because a lot of you guys, yourself included, Darren as well. Darren is actually the first 3-year starter we've ever had at the quarterback position in Georgia State. So there are a lot of dudes that, are going to be remembered for this team. Besides, winning a Sun Belt championship and some more obvious answers, what would you want this team, this edition of the Georgia State football, be remembered for?
Just setting a new tradition. There's new ground rules within the facility, new things that we set and laid just for future guys to come back, and when we come back in the future, just to look upon them. Okay, we set the ground rules. Just holding people accountable, seeing young guys come in the locker room, and you can kind of see like the switch. Like, as now that I'm older, like I have like a say so. So when I tell a young guy to do something, they're more like, okay, I'm on it right now, just to see the program grow. Most definitely, that's definitely huge for me, and that's definitely huge here. So that's the biggest for me. Just seeing the program grow over the years and seeing where we can go in the future. Because I feel like this program won't be in the Sun Belt too much longer in the future, just because the type of talent you can get through here.
Oh yeah. No, Georgia State's a sleeping giant, man. And all of our rivals know that. They all know we're a sleeping giant. So and it's to kind of just comment real quick on what you said, building that foundation. You guys have certainly done that. And it will continue to happen. I remember when the new basketball arena got built, there were some of the older guys that played in the, maybe even 90s and early 2000s for Georgia State. And, no disrespect to our previous basketball arena, but it was a little bit different than our current one. And, I remember them saying things like, yeah, I would have loved to play in an arena like this while we were here, but it's so awesome knowing that we kind of built this foundation for something like this to actually happen one day. So I think that's exactly what you guys are doing for this football program. And, we could, just like our basketball arena, in 10 years, not even be in the Sun Belt, but if we are, have some of the nicest facilities in the entire Sun Belt because of what you guys are doing. So this is awesome, man.
Most definitely. I just feel like this program can grow so fast. Like the type of talent that we get through here, as soon as we started like putting the championship on our belt, people are going to be here left and right. It's a great city to be in, place to be a part of. So why not? The locker room camaraderie is always together. Like, this is the most together locker room I've ever seen, other than well, the past few years we've always been together, but like this year is just like it came together so well, just because everyone understands what the goal is and like, where we came from last year. We never want to feel that again, so we know what it
Love it,
is.
man. I love it, man. Hey, August 31st cannot come soon enough, my man. It cannot come soon enough. I'm so pumped. So yeah, like I said, I'll get you out of there on that one, man. Thank you again so much for giving me some time this afternoon. I always enjoy talking to you, man. Best of luck this season. I'll be watching every game. I try and make it to as many as I can. I'm down in Jacksonville, so it's a little hard to get up to Atlanta. But yeah, man, I'm so excited and best of luck to you, my man.
Appreciate you.
Of course, man.